Hello, my lovelies. I am the Maeve of all trades. You guys really seem to like my sewing storytime video, but that is not the only thing that I have ever sewn. This past year, I have been sewing like a mad woman. I have sewn skirts, shirts, hoodies, bows, so many things. So I thought I'd do a little fashion show for you guys. So here are all the clothes that I have sewn in the past year. Now, disclaimer, I have made clothes before, but those were all knitted, so that will be a different fashion show. I have sewn other things that aren't clothes, that will be a different video. But for right now, here's just a nice little fashion show of all the clothes that I have sewn, along with a little bit of story time of where those fabrics all came from.
So all of these fabrics, except for this first dress, came from Joann Fabrics, RIP. The pattern came from Joann's, and the fabric itself are old bed sheets. When we got our new mattress, the bed sheets did not fit, so I decided not to be wasteful. There was fabric, I had a pattern, and I needed to practice, so I made this dress. I think it's really cute, and I also made a little bodice out of an old tank top, as you can see. The bodice took far longer than the dress did. I think the bodice took about a year and a half, solely because of the embroidery along the trim. That is a repeated whip stitch over and over again. The buttonholes I also sewed by hand, and the tie was made by Z, my wonderful fiance. I think it's really cute, and I am probably going to wear it to Renfest next time I go, if I can ever afford a ticket again. This next dress was made from fabric from the clearance section of Joann's. I had been eyeing it for quite a long time because it was specifically listed as mauve, and of course mauve sounds like me. I purchased the pattern to make the other dress to practice, and I didn't start on this one until I made sure I had the hang of it. The hem was a little bit hard to get straight because I don't have a dummy to practice on, but I think it turned out really well. Up next, we have a lovely skirt and shirt combination. This fabric was not in the clearance section, which pretty much crushed my dreams of ever being able to sew with it, because fabric that was not in the clearance at Joann's, especially patterned fabric, was close to $12 to $14 a yard, so any dreams of sewing anything with this fabric was purely a pipe dream. But I absolutely loved it because it was nice and witchy, it was purple, and purple's my favorite color, and I thought of so many beautiful things that I could make with it while walking past it every day. I had a shift and thinking, no, it's not going to be. But I'll tell you about my final fabric haul a little bit later. Something that I forgot to mention. All of these clothes, except for the last two, are done completely by hand. That means the trim on the skirt, the trim on the sleeves, and the collar were all hand sewn, in addition to the pockets and the body of the garment itself. This next shirt was made out of the leftover fabric from the skirt and shirt, along with some leftover bed sheets. My friend said it looks very comfy and has, quote, honk shoe vibes, and that I should wear it as a sleep shirt. The collar is also hand done, and I'm proud of it because it was hard as hell. Up next, we probably have my favorite. We have another skirt and shirt combination made from another bolt of fabric from the clearance rack. It is very, very soft, and I love wearing it. Not only because fall is my favorite season, but because it is a very nice quality fabric, despite the fact that it was on the clearance rack. Now, because this is my favorite, I got a lot of footage of myself wearing it. So I'll take this time to talk a little bit about working at Joann's. I worked at Joann's from fall of 2024 to spring of 2025 when the store closed down, RIP. I had been wanting to work at Joann's since I was in high school, and when I actually got the job, I was so excited. And then when I started working there, I immediately had to keep myself from spending my entire paycheck on all of the wonderful craft supplies. And my other coworkers were very similar to me. Despite the fact that it was retail, which means a lot of physical labor, and despite the occasional difficult customer, it was a very nice working environment. I loved my coworkers. There was one woman, let's call her Tina. Tina had been working at Joann's for 23 years when I joined, and she was absolutely lovely. She had a wonderful sense of humor and was always there for a hug whenever I had a difficult day. Even on the last day, she was there with a hug and a smile and an "I hope you do well," and I hope she's doing well too. Up next, we have an olive green waffle knit skirt. I had my eye on this fabric for a while because I got a hand-me-down shirt from my father that was a forest green waffle knit, and I thought that it would go together perfectly. Yes, you heard that correctly. The only reason this skirt exists is because I thought it would match with something I already had. But I've heard worse reasons for starting a project. The skirt is very... tuck your shirt in, young lady, you weren't raised in a barn. Much better. It's very comfortable, very lightweight, and twirls like a dream. I love wearing it, and I'm so proud of it. And here we have a lovely long sleeve shirt. with silver moons and stars on it. Also very witchy. I absolutely love that. This was the first article of clothing that I ever made with my new sewing machine, which my fiance's wonderful parents got me for my birthday. So the collar, the sleeves, the hem, it's all so much neater than I expected, and I love it. And of course, we all know the rainbow hoodie dress. Nice and cozy and absolutely adorable. Now, all of these fabrics weren't purchased at the same time. I got the purple fabric first and then the green, and then all the patterned fabrics I bought together. That was my final fabric haul that I was talking about earlier. This was nearing the end of Joanne's run. It was about a week and a half before the closing of the branch where I worked. The shelves were all empty, there weren't as many people coming in, there was just this feeling of lethargic sadness, things ending, rather than the creative new possibilities that I had always loved about Joann's. And of course, with the store going out of business, the prices were getting lower and lower and lower. So one day, I just said, screw it. I set aside all the fabrics that I wanted, and then went to my Holy Cross shift. Then the next morning, I was right there when the store opened. I went right to the cut counter. Tina cut my fabric for me, she gave it to me with a huge smile, and I walked up to the counter. I walked out of there with 37 yards of fabric for $5. That is probably my best Joanne haul, and, of course, my last Joanne haul. There were difficult times working at that job, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I hope you guys liked it.
I hope you all liked that. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like if you liked it, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys, and please watch some of my other videos. I have been the Maeve of all trades. Have a lovely day. Oh, we got some bird friends. Hey. So polite. Waited until Mama was off screen before she attacked. I'm gonna say that it looks very witchy, so. This is witchy too.